Well, what are you about to do?
Take over.
What are you about to do right now, though?
Take over.
So it's the Christeria Lynn. So it's the Christeria Lynn. So it's the Christeria Lynn. So me llamo Christeria.
Hola, ¿qué lo que? Me llamo Christeria. Welcome to my show.
Me llamo Christeria. Christeria Lynn. So
You've seen them on the big screen. Check this out.
Skitty, you can hoo-hoo through a Cheerio. And fool, you ain't got to be skinny or sick.
Today, we have Redge Green, a.k.a. Lil Chris from Boys in the Hood. Welcome to my show.
I'm happy to be here with you.
You've been known to make history. So tell us a little bit about that.
I'm excited to tell you. Matter of fact, I am the first Afro-American paraplegic actor ever in the history of SAG-AFTRA, as well as I've been able to achieve that in the Recording Academy as well.
So what is some of the work you've done?
Ooh, girlfriend, you ready me to go back that far?
That far.
Well, we can name a few. I started off as an extra on a show called MASH, but it really wasn't MASH. It had an old Vietnam show, and then they came back with post the war, and the show was called After MASH, and that's how I broke into Hollywood as an extra there in the hospital. They liked my personality and asked me if I could read. I almost took it as an offense because I was thinking, can I read? But what they was asking me is, could I code read as an actor?
Okay.
And so I winged it and said yes, and got an audition. And next thing you know, I was a recurring character on that show. And then many of the other shows that many people may have seen me on is After MASH, Different Strokes, Highway to Heaven, Fall Guy. I've done Reebok commercial with Sinbad. I've done McDonald's commercials, so several different things, more than Boys in the Hood.
Okay. So many don't know that you're a paraplegic. Is that correct?
That's why we're sitting right here with the Redge here. It's my partner.
Has that affected your career?
Actually, I broke into Hollywood, and when I got there, they told me I had 2 strikes against me. I'm older than I look, and so when I came into Hollywood, they said, because I'm from Northern California, as you said, I'm from Richmond, California. And when I moved to Hollywood having this dream, I used to watch an actor named Ironside.
Ironside,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a Caucasian actor. It was known, my mother says, also Perry Mason. And so I was watching him, and I had no role models after being shot at 6 years old. I didn't have no role models, so he was one of my role models. I was willing to get home, watch him, and my attitude is, if he could do something, I could too.
Okay.
Until I found out he could walk. And when I found out he could walk, that pissed me off. That upset me, broke my heart. And I thought about how many other disabled individuals, such as myself, are looking at him, and he's not the real deal. And so I was offered to play a part of a movie called Able to Do.
Okay.
About a young man being picked on in 6th grade. And I got the starring role for that. And that's what got me that acting bug. And so when I got to Hollywood, after studying and taking classes in the Bay Area, I was ready, made a plan with my mom, and told her if I'm not on TV in 6 months, I'd come home.
Did you make it on TV in 6 months?
I was there.
So you said something. So you said at the age of 6, you got shot.
Yes.
Tell us more about you being shot, because also I read that your father was shot and died from a drug overdose. Is that correct?
Okay, my father wasn't shot.
Okay.
My father committed suicide, basically, with a drug overdose.
Okay.
So I can tell you I got shot in the rhyme. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I want to hear it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's see. I'll say it in a rhyme, but I can rap it too. But let's say at the age of 6, and this is real, one man used me as a body shield, while another man shot and nearly killed. And can you see why my chair is supported by wheels? At first, I responded like everyone else. I said I just spent life feeling sorry for myself. But then I said, wait a minute, Redge, that's insane, because I realized I still had a body and I still had a brain. So I went to Hollywood and got the acting spell.
Hey.
You see me on the V, you say, Redge, you done well. I got my start on the flick called After MASH. I went to Boys in the Hood and picked up some cash. Everywhere I go, people always look. They say, Redge, your face belong on magazine books. It's strong. sensitive, kind and sweet. I have a mind that matches that hates defeat. And all of my challenges I know I'll meet, even with these wheels underneath my feet. There you have it. So that's that.
So how did you come up with that?
Well, I'm actually a youth empowerment speaker.
Okay.
And so aside from acting, one should always have another passion of something they're doing, because in the middle of working on your craft, I've never, in Hollywood, the attitude is you don't want to be a starving actor. So you always want to make sure there's also another passion. So one of my passions was speaking to youth. And my mother always said, give back. And my mother said, no matter what you do. And so when they started seeing me on TV in Richmond, they was really excited about what I've done. I was very popular in the Bay Area, from wheelchair sports and having a paper route. And just when I was growing up, they did not have accessible curbs, buses, nothing like that. So I crawled, hopped, skipped, jumped, whatever it took, I did it. Learned to do stunts on my wheelchair, pop wheelies, jump up curbs. And so that long story being said, my giving back was starting to talk to elementary kids and telling them if they could do something, if I could become an actor, then they could do whatever they want to do as well. And so I began to read more about speaking, and then just dropped into empowering speaking all across the world.
So you have a nonprofit.
I have a organization that's not nonprofit, but I have an organization and a company called Empowering You. I believe in sometimes keeping things profitable and working with companies, and I like to partnership with companies in order to achieve those goals. Because sometimes being in nonprofit, you do have to raise funds. Then the nonprofit that we do have is a foundation called True Role Models Foundation that we're working on, that is still working with ADA, American Disability Act, and still trying to facilitate not just inclusion and diversity, but also mobility, because that's what's missing. We don't even see our image on TV. I don't see another Afro-American. There's Chill, Adorable Chill Mitchell, who is on NCIS New Orleans, and he's in a wheelchair, but he wouldn't start off as a wheelchair. So I'm really trying to get back onto that. So I'm returning back on TV.
We'll be right back with more of the Christeria Lynn Show.
Christeria Lynn Show. Christeria Lynn Show.
Let me piggyback off of something that you said. Piggyback. So, inspiring. So I have a nonprofit as well. Mm-hmm. And my nonprofit is for single mothers.
Wonderful.
And so you have a nonprofit for the youth. And one of the challenges that I see, or mm-hmm. I saw, is what made me start my nonprofit, is that a lot of people are focused on the youth, which that's great. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people forget about the households that they come home to. Parenting.
Yes.
So me being a single mother,
okay,
and having the children that I have, thank God they're gifted.
Okay.
Right? Like gifted.
Uh-huh.
These youth are going home to that mother that's stressed out, mm-hmm. that's trying to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. The father, most of the time, is not in the picture.
Okay.
And so they have these challenges. How do you see that empowering youth mm-hmm. plays a role in dealing with the youth who has those challenges? Is that something that you all discuss within your organization?
Yes. I started off speaking as rated G, good. Rated PG, pretty good. Now I'm rated R, ready, real, and radical. And even right now, we have rebranded our Empowering Youth look. So if anyone were to type up empoweringyouth.com, they would see our old look. So you should go ahead and take a look at it now, because they'll see our new branding. Now, with our new branding, I believe there are 7 activities or 7 things that every youth should know, 7 activities and things that they should also do with their parents or even guardians, because a lot of these students or youth are not just coming home to a mom or a dad or but even a guardian, a grandparent,
yes,
an older sister, older brother. You'd be surprised of what they call latchkey kids, or kids who are striving on their own.
Yes.
We have younger mothers now with teenagers that are almost right there with them. So in looking at all of that, I take the approach of empowering youth to say, for an example, let's use going to school. They're the boss. The school is not. If the kids don't go to the school and don't sit in that table, then they don't get paid. So they get paid for sitting in that desk and learning. So I try to teach them, investigate before you participate. You can never say no unless you know knowledge is power. So I try to empower the youth back with what they're not telling them about themselves. And because, biblically speaking, if one believes in a faith, love yourself, then you can love other people. So my objective has always been to take this negative and turn it into a positive, or take a weakness and then build that strength. And it doesn't matter what circumstance, situation, or condition you've gone through, then I work with youth then, and then I also work with the parents as well. Parents can call me. We have a mentorship program, and we're even working on a digital project right now that a youth could actually hear me talk about different activities that they can do that empowers them. Because when I say rated R, I mean from sexuality, from wanting to know who you are, spirituality. There are 5 faces of youth. 1 face at home, 1 face when you go to school, 1 face when you're having a job. Hi, welcome to McDonald's, can I help you? And then 1 face if you have some kind of faith or belief. And then 1 if you're just hanging out with your friends and family,
Yes.
right? So 5 faces of youth, and our objective is to take those 5 faces to make them into 1. So then no matter who you are, where you go, people know who you are, like you.
Well, thank you.
Steady up, okay, oh, Christeria Lynn show.
Que calor, lo que no es. R&B pop singer Danny Latay versus rapper Da Baby exchange relationship. Da Baby recently presented a live via Instagram on his co-parenting relationship with singer and mother to his 3-year-old baby girl. The live consists of the couple arguing back and forth about how she would not leave his home, amongst other issues, while Da Baby proceeds to call the police on Danny Lee. Say what? Danny Lee explains the situation in a completely different way. This argument went on and on to the next morning as Danny Lee was still present in the baby's home. I think she should have left. He proceeds to antagonize and provoke her, leading to calling her a side chick. Well, this sets it off. For the past year and a half is plenty of footage and evidence of Da Baby and Danny Lee being in a relationship. A relationship that led to her first pregnancy and becoming the mother of his newborn child. Clearly, that is not side chick status. What do y'all say? There's also speculation of the rapper's other mother to his other children being pregnant. I say his baby mama with another child. I want to hear from you. The social media question for today: what makes a woman a side chick? Ladies, are you willing to keep fighting for a relationship once a child is involved? Also, what are the possible red flags to men having children from a previous relationship and being in the industry?
Hi, this your girl Dekiana Dancy, and you're watching the Christeria Lynn show.
We'll be right back with more of the Christeria Lynn show.
Christeria Lynn show. Steady up, okay, oh, Christeria Lynn show.
I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Who is Lil Chris?
Wow. Now see, that's gonna be funny. I'm finna mess with you. Who is Lil Chris? Lil Chris was one of the 4 boys in Boys in the Hood. Doughboy's best friend. And for those who, I want them to take a look at the movie again, because I have a interview that we're working on. It's called The Unofficial Casting of Lil Chris in Boys in the Hood by Redge Green. Because I was casted in a unique way. So who is Lil Chris? Lil Chris was one of the bad kids, or one of the kids who lived in the same neighborhood, but he came more from a project area around the corner, more or less. Mm-hmm. And this is the background of our character that we developed. And Lil Chris, being Doughboy's best friend, remember he was the one who say, "Y'all want to see a dead body?" Or hey, my cousin left me a deuce. Or when Ricky came, or when Trey came to live with his father, Furious, and then Furious says, "Give y'all $5 if y'all break up," right? Lil Chris would be the one to say, $5, that ain't big, right? And then when they get older, you see them, well, not older, but right before they get older, they're arrested. And so Lil Chris and Doughboy are in that police car. They're driven away, and the next time you see us, we're teenagers. And that's where I come in there. So Lil Chris was one of those who life was changing. And if you look at the movie, here's a question I want the audience to think about, and that is, you have a friend that you've been with most of your life, Lil Chris ends up in a wheelchair, but notice when he gets older now, he's the one who's asking them questions on a spiritual level. He's the one who said, do y'all believe in God? He's the one who said, I know where y'all can find women at. And then, they asking here, there, and he says, the church, right?
Not the church.
Oh, right. And so Lil Chris was one of those characters. And then when they went back to retaliate for Ricky getting shot, notice the last time you see Lil Chris, he puts his head down, says, damn, and basically his thing was, there's a different way that he was trying, a different path he was trying to go in life, which was similar to my own personal life. And that's why I pretty much took that role.
We'll be right back with more of the Christeria Lynn Show.
Christeria Lynn Show. Christeria Lynn Show.
So you believe in God?
100%. I'm a disciple.
You're a disciple.
Without a doubt.
Do you plant seeds in your
Always.
youth?
One plant, one water, God get the increase.
If you can give anyone advice, what would that be? Two things.
Good
Anyone advice.
Anyone.
In the entertainment industry.
Ooh.
Because in the beginning you said, well, you told your mom in 6 months if you don't make it.
Right.
And the entertainment industry is very hard. So if you can get anyone advice in life and in the entertainment industry, what would that be?
Learn your craft. Investigate before you participate. Learn the craft. Learn the business. People think that I'm a natural. Well, I can do this. I can get in front of a camera. I'm a natural. And so here's what I say in my workshops. I say, talent is natural, given by God. At the same time, all talent, all naturals have to be shaped. All naturals have to be formed. So, for example, remember I used to have hair, okay? I really had.
I did too.
Look at you, yeah. So I had a natural, and then I had waves for the babes, the Jerry curl for the girls, and a Mercedes for the ladies. But back to the answer to that question was, in my natural, when I used to sleep, it gets squished on its side, you wake up, and then what you have to do, pick it out and shake it and form it, right? And that's exactly how it is in the entertainment industry. You have to know your craft, whether you want to be in front or behind the camera. I don't have to say you normally have to go to college for all of this, but at the same time, get a mentor, get somebody who's been in the business, really in the business, not someone who's just doing something independent, not that you cannot start off like that, but what I think people lack the most is patience, and you gotta have experience, knowledge will give you wisdom, and so I was ready to get in Hollywood because I'd already took classes. I was mad at the class I took. I was ridiculous. The first class I took, of course, I could not afford it. It was thousands of dollars, but I got sponsored, took the class in San Francisco. They was doing things like Othello, Shakespeare. I said, that's not different strokes. That's not what I'm trying to do. That ain't what's happening now, right? So I quit. I got told off, went back, because you got to know, if one does, as Farrakhan once said, if one does not know what was, how can one know what is? And if you don't know what was or what is, how can you be prepared to come? So what I think they should do is study the craft, what they want to do, have the vision of what they want to do, and not so much how you want to do it, but where you fit in and where God is giving you or the ability you have in your craft or what you want to do. So I really want to say investigate before you participate.
Okay.
Know your craft.
Okay. And if you had one piece of advice for anyone who's struggling in any area of their life, what would that be?
That's a hard one, girlfriend. Meditate, pray, start with you. Stop.
Okay.
S-T-O-P, stop. Take a moment, breathe.
Breathe. Woosa.
Take a pen and a pad, not the gadget. Sometimes you got to take this with this. It's in your hand. So what's in your hand? And when we ask the question, what's in your hands? What's in your house? Okay, your wheelhouse. What's in your hopes, dreams, and desires? Write it down. I do believe in this quote or passage that says, write the vision. You know what I'm going, girl. Make it plain.
And the vision will not tarry.
All right. So make it plain so those who see it can run with it. If you just ripping and running everywhere and telling everybody what you're going to do and ripping and running, they say put up or shut up. I say put up so you ain't got to shut up.
Okay.
So I say take out that time, write that vision down, and then find, again, that pathway, your labyrinth, to get you to that vision. And then remember, I call it the STAR way of doing things as an acronym. Become a seeker, teacher, and reacher. So STAR, seek, teach, and reach. Seek one, teach one, and reach another.
Okay.
So you at least should have 3 people that are instrumental, advantageous in your life that supports your vision and what you want to do. If you cannot get to 3, then you're going to be in the same place that you are. So you at least want to be patient and don't find those people.
Okay. Well, it's been real. I
Yeah.
thank you for coming on my show.
I
Tell
appreciate
the
it.
viewers how they can find you.
Well, how can you find me? How about I'm gonna give you an email, and then if you email me, we can tell you what's coming up, because they have some wonderful workshops and different things we're doing here, even nationally. And you can just go to Redge Green, REDGE Green, GREEN @hotmail.com, or you can go to Onesimus, and I'm gonna spell that.
Onesimus. Is that your social media?
That's my production company. Now, I want you to talk about social media. Can I say this real quick?
Sure.
People have to be careful with social media when you're talking about your brand, you're talking about coming into the industry. It's called industry for a reason. The first word on industry is in. Get in, and we'll work with you, process you, and get you out. But a lot of people want to do social media and be out there and then try to get in. And if you overexpose, one day you'll be underpaid. So you want to be careful. So if anybody were to Google right now, Redge Green, the only thing you're going to find is the industry business that I want you to find, the narrative that we want you to find. Now what's coming out is the Redge Green Instagram, social media, but if you're going to be on social media and you're not monetizing it, then you're making a big mistake. So you can reach me at redgegreen@hotmail.com, but Onesimus Media Production is my company, and that's ONESIMUS, Onesimus247.com. And then I give you information on how you can reach me. Because we have a movie coming out that we're working on. I think we found Reggie, who can play me, young. Actually, we found him, I think, in Buckhead. And we're working with him. Yeah, we're working with him. He moved here, young man, and he's 6 years. He got injured at 6 as well, like myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he as a car accident. Great young man. So I'm working with him. No promises, but I think he should do the screen test, and we'll see what happens. And then my last goal for the media is to star, because that's the only role I haven't done, is to star. Co-starred in Boys in the Hood, but didn't star. But I still get paid.
Your role is coming up next.
Oh, girlfriend, you know it is.
I'm Christeria Lynn, and until the next time.
Steady up, look at Christeria Lynn, so